Hello guys, this is 8.5 Zero Product Property. I'm going to do the first half in this one, and then I'm going to stop it, and then I will do the next half. So this will be day 1, and then I'm going to record day 2 here in just a minute. Alright, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at these examples. Alright, so you guys have your foldable, and it has the zero product property at the top, and it has the 6 little flaps that are going to come inside, fold inside. Okay, so this one is example 1. We have y minus 5 times the expression 5y minus 4 equals 0. The zero product property states that if this product equals 0, then at least one of these expressions has to equal 0. So then what we do is we take both expressions and set them equal to 0. So we have y minus 5 equals 0, and we have 5y minus 4 equals 0. So then solving this for y, we add 5 to both sides, and we have y equals 5. For this one, we're going to add 4 to both sides. And so then we have 5y equals 4. Divide both sides by 5. And we have y equals 4/5, 4.8, depending on how you want to write that. I would just write it as 4/5 because that's one less thing that you have to worry about doing. All right, so the two solutions are going to be y equals 5 and y equals 4/5. Right, so now moving on to example 2, and this is in the upper right hand corner of the foldable. It says solve the equation 2a squared plus 26a equals 0. Right, so this one is not factored for us, so then we need to look at the two terms and see what do these two terms have in common. Well, I noticed they're both even, so I can factor out a 2. And I also notice that they both have at least one a. So I'm going to also factor out that a. So then 2a squared, dividing out of 2a, leaves me with a. 26a dividing 2a leaves me with 13. And then that equals 0. Okay. Just like we did before, we now set each of those expressions equal to 0 and solve for the variable. So we have 2a equals 0, and a plus 13 equals 0. Divide both sides by 2 for the first one, and you have a is 0. Subtract 13 from the second one, and we have a is negative 13. So there you go. Our solutions for this particular equation, a equals 0, and a equals negative 13. Alright, now the third one from the first day's lesson is example 3, and it's factoring a trinomial with leading coefficient of 1. And what I mean by that is that this number right here in front of the m is a 1. So that makes our life much easier because all we have to do is find factors of 21 that would give us a sum of negative 10. Excuse me. And in this case, that is going to be negative 7 times negative 3. Because negative 7 times negative 3 is 21. Negative 7 plus negative 3 gives you the negative 10. The other option you have for that is to do the x method, where you multiply the first and last term together. So that gives you 1 and 21 is 21. Take your middle term, which is the negative 10, and then factors of 21, that will give you negative 10. So again, we would have the negative 7 and the negative 3, and then we divide these factors by the a term, which is 1. This then gives us x minus 7 times x minus 3, and then that has to equal 0. And we would have the same thing if we've done it this way. Okay? So either way works. Now we set both of these expressions equal to 0. And for this one, we're going to add 7 to both sides. And for this one, we're going to add 3 to both sides. And there we have it. So our two solutions are x equals 7 and x equals 3. All right, so that's it for day 1. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you later.